Isaiah was a prophet that lived during the latter portion of Israel's kingdom period. He warned the leaders and the nation of their impending downfall to Babylon and Assyria because of the corruption of the leaders. But he also had a prophecy of hope. And a century after Isaiah's death, his prophecy came true for Israel. Babylon was a very proud empire. They put their trust in their military might and were able to rule through fear and intimidation. Like people, they were bullies, able to act that way because of their wealth, power, and dominion. Both nations and modern people act this way. The phrase, "no one sees me," implies that the Babylonian Empire viewed itself as above accountability for its actions. The people of Judah and Jerusalem were similarly guilty, and modern Christians sometimes act in the same way. Isaiah warns Babylon and modern nations that Babylon had trust in their continuing wickedness as they double down, thinking if we say and do it long enough and big enough and forceful enough, eventually we will cover our tracks for their prior wrongs. Like us today, the Babylonians were clever, but their wisdom in wickedness had made them forget all true wisdom and knowledge begins with the fear of the Lord. Remember, Isaiah is not recounting events. He's foretelling what will come. So you can say that Isaiah warned Babylon that evil disaster would befall them, and it did. They were suddenly conquered in one night when they believed all was secure. Isaiah's prophecy came true. Now, let's put a contextual note here. The Jewish people were often called the people of the book because their religion was well thought out in terms of its theological foundation and was documented. Now, that still did not keep Israel from dalliances with Baal and the Babylonian mystics, thinking that Babylon's God was more powerful than Yahweh. Isaiah foresees this temptation Israel will have and warns Israel against disloyalty to Yahweh. In fact, he mocks Babylon by encouraging them to continue in their worthless magical practices. In Babylon, the intellectual and the magical were intertwined. They used these trained advisors to predict threats to the nation. So Isaiah is letting Israel know that the sorcerers of Babylon cannot save the people of Babylon from Yahweh's judgment. Yahweh is the one true God. After all, if these sorcerers had real spiritual power, they would be able to protect the nation. Not only could the sorcerers of Babylon not deliver others from God's judgment, they couldn't even deliver themselves. The fire of judgment that would come upon them would be severe. It would not be a coal to be warmed by, nor a fire to sit before. It would be extremely hot. Like us, we often think that riches and good neighborhoods make us safe. Military might and a secure government with established institutions and traditions give us a false sense of security. Babylon believes that all these things make them different and secure. It will turn out that Babylon and all of its allies are doomed. The real power rests in the true God. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.